don't worry about the assignment fee. Let's get your deals going. Let's get you understanding the whole process. The assignment fee is a bonus on the whole thing. You'll be like, oh, sweet, I got an assignment fee.
Yeah, I just want to get the process going. I want to get a couple deals under my belt and, start off with like one specialty at a time.
Right. It is not easy. So I want you to understand, once you get a contract, that's 10% of the way through the whole process. Now we need to sell that to a buyer. And so we've got to make it so attractive. Like I said to the other guy, he's saying they're asking 190. Let's give them 30. Okay. So if they say no, okay, we'll give you 40. Let's get at least talking about it. But you want those low assignment fees because, you want those low purchase prices because we've got to sell that to somebody else. And it's got to be super attractive to them because we have to sell it in 7 days.
Right. Are you finding in this market right now, is there a good mix between like creative financing being generally more accepted versus like traditional cash, or it's always just a mix and kind of a mixed bag?
It's a mix all day long because it's people's situations. Every single person has a different situation.
Understood.
And so,
gotcha.
I can do a sub 2 in 24 hours and get it done because they're going to lose their house that day. Right. So their motivation's different. My motivation's different. But there's a sub 2 and they've had it for 200 days. They're just not wanting to sell is the deal. Sometimes it's not a hardship. It's just they're lazy. They don't care. So everything's different. That's why the most important thing to do is find out what people's motivation for selling is. That's huge. Then you can decide your strategy.
Yeah, appreciate that. And there's also, I appreciate you clearing up the fact that like if you find a deal outside of what you see on Buy Box, it doesn't necessarily mean that's not a deal and there's not going to be a buyer for it. So
right. And Buy Box is a guideline. It's so you don't have to do the math if you don't like doing all the calculations. It's just saying, hey, in general, here's where we're at. And so if you can go below what Buy Box Cartel says, then you're going to be in the deal area. That's like the upper part of where you want to negotiate to. So take it down even lower than what Buy Box says.
Gotcha. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to be like Anson over here. Closing like 3 deals this first
Nobody
month.
wants to be like Anson. Seriously. Whoa! Hey, not in mine, live, you little.
Oh shoot! Why is my camera on?
Oh man. Okay, Anson.
Thank you, Trent. Appreciate it.
All right, sure, no problem. Hey, just a reminder, especially to 12-year-olds, there's no cussing. There's none of that in my live stream. Just so you know. Okay, Skeleton Squad Society. That's a lot.
What's going on, Trent? How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I'm in a little situation to get your advice on.
Okay.
I acquire Section 8 properties and building a little portfolio right now. I found this absolute gem that cash flows according to HUD user and all my calculations with expenses and everything. It cash flows $770 a month. I'm looking to get it. I negotiated with the seller to be way under asking price. His original price was roughly around $130K for this 3-bedroom, 1-bath, but I got him down to $109. The issue that I have at this moment is that my funds are deployed right now, and I need to wait a little bit more time before I can acquire another property with my investor that I'm partnered with. Okay. So being that I found this absolute gem, and if you didn't even, the comps are absolutely great with this. The next door.
I don't know if you're enough of a discount. You're going to keep it though, right?
That was my initial plan, but being that it was a fix and flip around this property, it's been on the market for roughly 60 days now. I was going to ask you if there was any way that I could, sell this to either one of your guys' investors, being that the comps are so good, the cash flow is so good, and maybe make an assignment fee, because I just regardless of what happens if I keep this, because I can't wait long enough to close on it, or if I can assign this out and just make a quick buck to the group or to the investors.
And that's the whole idea is you want to find stuff you want to buy, and then if you can't buy it at the time, you sell it. So that's
Exactly. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I mean, in addition to the amazing cash flow on this, the next door property, it just sold for I think around 220K, and it's also a 3-bedroom. Everything on the street is getting cleaned up, and it's not a bad area. All the comps in the area are way above what I got this guy to agree to. I got him to agree to 109. I feel like I can go, if I were to send him an offer, I think I could get him down to 105 easily. 99,000 possibly, but like I said, I mean, he's looking to close. He's looking to get this off his hands as soon as possible so he can go and do his next fix and flip. What do you think I should do here, and what would be like the next steps?
I like the fact that you want to go lower on the price. I think definitely. Yeah. How much rehab does it need?
Absolutely none. All the finishes are completely done. New HVAC, new water heater.
Why do you think they're starting lower than the comps in the area? It sounds like his first price is low.
No, the rest of the comps in the area aren't in that 250 range. It's just the next door house was a 250 sale, and that just makes this property more desirable. Like I said, he originally priced it at 130, which is kind of in the ballpark of the comps of all these rehabbed houses in the area, but it hasn't sold. And I don't know why, because everything is so brand new inside this unit. I think I spoke to the real estate agent. He just doesn't seem like he has his wits together and is not as motivated as the actual fix and flipper is. So, I mean, there's a bunch of different reasons, but at the end of the day, I mean, this is a major cash flower. There's absolutely no work that has to go into it.
How much time do you need to do a bridge loan? Because that's what sounds like you need a loan just for a little while so you can get it, or you're like, it's going to be months and months.
No, my investor said that he needs a couple weeks, but the reason why I'm in your live right now is because if I can just assign this out like within the next 48 to 72 hours and make a quick buck, then I'll just be on my way and move on to the next one. You know Perfect. What I mean?
What are you looking for an assignment fee on this?
You tell me. I don't know.
Well, I hate doing assignment fees because, like, if I buy it, I talk you way down on an assignment fee because.
What do you think I'm looking at in your opinion?
I mean, I don't do it until I know if I have a buyer, because the margin is where your assignment fee is.
Yeah.
And so if you get it at 95, I mean, there's no reason. I mean, if we can sell it, what do you think it would sell at to a buyer? So let's do that math. So you get it at 95. You think you could get it at 95?
Honestly, no. I think getting it at 99.
Okay. What would you market it? What would the price be that you market it at? 150? It didn't sell at 130. So.
Yeah, I mean, they just price cut it down to 119.9 right now, live on Zillow.
Okay, so you'd have to take it off market first of all. Because anybody looking at it's not going to pay more than 119. So now, there's not much there. There's just not much meat there. But for you to have it and hold it and keep it, awesome. I mean, that would be a great deal because the $790 a month is awesome. And it's a cash deal, right? So you need the 100 grand.
Yeah, I tried going after him initially on a seller finance deal with about a 25% down payment, and for whatever reason, I mean, like I said, he's a fix and flipper. He just wants the money absolutely right now and isn't even interested in the seller finance thing. I did the whole pitch on.
Sure.
It's like making it a no-brainer for him. But I think he's like a foreign guy that doesn't speak much English and isn't. I can lead the horse to drink the water, but can't force him to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotcha.
So I tried my best, but I mean, if I don't know. I mean, I can try to go back to him and try to get it lower, but then I'm kind of changing the pitch as far as getting it to
Well,
be an assigned
but
contract.
you can justify it all day long being lower just because it hasn't moved. They dropped it down. It still hasn't moved.
Yeah.
And so you don't believe that it's worth what he's saying, even though you know that you could. I mean, if we could sell that for 115,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? I mean, that's where you got to look at it. You got to say who's going to come in and buy it. Or 110, you get it for 90 and you sell it for 110. There's it looks like a $20,000 difference, but it isn't because we got to do closing costs and all that stuff. So it comes out to be about, especially if you JV with somebody, it's going to be $1,000, $1,500 assignment fee when it comes down to it. So that's why you're kind of like, well, geez, I'm giving up $700 a month.
Yeah, I would almost rather take that energy and try to finesse him into just waiting that extra couple weeks for me. Then
That's what I would do, 100%. See, I have a buyer in place. Give me 3 weeks. Always overestimate because realty dates are never the same. Like your investor will not come through in 2 weeks. It will be 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So yeah, just say, hey, I've got a buyer. I can send you an LOI. If you want to take my deal, and sell them, just keep it on market if you want to. See what happens. If you trust the fact that he can't sell it, then you're rolling the dice and you're not wasting any money. You're not. That might be your best bet.
Okay.
Everything's a negotiation.
Yeah, thanks for the counsel. These guys are just really hard to negotiate with. And I mean, like I said, it's not a huge discount when I got them to agree to 109, but even at 109, it's cash flowing 770 a month, which is like, okay,
right.
fine. Let's just get the
selling it is the thing. That's our problem is anybody looking at that's like, hey, I saw that at 119. Like, why am I going to pay 109? You know, it's like 109. You know, if you go 115, it's just there's not much meat on that bone. I wish there were.
Yeah,
it's great. It's excellent if you're keeping it yourself, no question.
Yeah, I just wanted to bounce that idea around. I mean, even if I were to get them down to 99,000, and you said I wouldn't even be looking at a large assignment because my brain I'm like, if I can finesse him down to 99,000, I'm thinking minimally a 5K assignment. Yeah,
but you got to keep in mind closing costs and all that stuff. That's a sucky part. There's, figure $4,000 for all that.
Yeah.
But also I would put it out to the community for sure, because it's a good deal for anybody that's a buyer.
Yeah, and even because Section 8 is saying that it will rent in the specific zip code for $1,600 a month. Even looking at the comps in the area, all the comps say that this square footage, bedroom count and everything, it's renting all day for $1,300 to $1,400. So that difference to $1,600 if it's Section 8 or traditional tenant, I mean, you're still cash flowing above. I didn't do the exact math, but you're probably still way above 600 a month,
Yeah, it's great. It's really good. Do this. Go into the homepage and just hit every single group leader and just say, hey, I've got this hot deal. I can't afford it right now. It's and say it's $110,000 to get into it. And if you can get it for less, then you split the difference with them. See what happens.
Cool. And where do I go to do that?
The homepage on the left-hand side. Go over to home. And what that does is it's kind of like a tweet to the whole community. And you can just do @group leaders. And then
which channel? Oh, in homepage. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So under home, it says homepage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try it in there and come to everybody's live. It's a deal I would buy if it wasn't Section 8. I'm not a big fan of Section 8. So
that's what I'm saying. I mean, it still doesn't even have to be Section 8. I'm personally a Section 8 guy. Right. But like I said, if you were to just lease this out traditionally to like a normal person, you're still cash flowing. I mean, it's not 770. It'll probably come out to like 620 or something.
Yeah, gotcha. No, it's a good deal. 100%. I go for a little bit more expensive properties because I like the value of when I sell them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's with all the extra stuff and the potential to even sell for more. Like you add a garage onto this property, and maybe you can sell it for more, being that the very similar house next door sold for 250.
Yeah. No, it's like talk to your investor to go like talk him into this one because you're solid.
Yeah.
But also, I
Okay.
mean, look into. I know Grant in the Discord. I don't know if he's here today, but Grant is he does DSCR loans and he does loans. He might be able to work out some kind of a bridge loan that gets you that a month or two or whatever. You're going to
Yeah.
spend a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit more hard money, but it's going to
Yeah.
solve the problem.
Isn't that the whole Gator method thing that Pace Morby's doing?
I have no idea. I'm not that smart.
Yeah, I've been trying to follow along with him a little bit to see what's cooking over there. Okay, I won't take up much of anybody else's time. Thanks for
No, you're good.
thanks for having me up. I appreciate it.
But reach out to Grant. I'm trying to see if he's even here. He's usually lurking around.
I've never submitted an offer into or submitted a property into Hold My Hand Wholesale.
Well, let's do it. I mean, if you want to, just put it in with me and I'll JV with you. It's not going to pay that great, but let's put it through. If nothing else, we'll put it through. You get an education on how that process works.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was going for. I'll shoot you a message.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to JV with you. I mean, we're not going to get rich on it, but the education's great. So yeah, just submit it to my form. And yours is the type of deal I like. Submitted to the form. I've been getting a lot of people that just submit an address or they haven't talked to the realtor. They haven't done any due diligence.
Yeah, I did. I wouldn't even waste anybody's time unless I had all that backup,
Well, you're one in a million. So no, I appreciate it. Yeah, put it through there. Let's see what we can do. We'll get it in today and see if we can get you, at least get the ball rolling. But get him to agree in the 90s, and then submit the form.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, bro. Take it easy.
All right,
Eric,
guys.
what's going on? And yep. How are you?
Good morning, Trent.
It's a very fancy curtain behind you.
Okay, yeah. So I've been trying to reach out to you. So the guy that was just on here is very similar to the situation on the house
Okay,
that I
good.
was looking at. So I actually made a bunch of calls this weekend, made some pretty good rapport with a couple of real estate agents. So the one specifically that I've been talking to you about, she's actually the HUD director in the area. So
Yes,
it was a very good
contact.
conversation with her. Yeah. So I did make a verbal offer on that property at 105. The owner come back at 135. So his motivation is hired landlord. So he also has other properties. She actually has already sent me one other one, but I guess what he's doing currently is the properties. He has a contractor that he's just trying to get them cleaned up to put them on market. So I know I'm in kind of the same situation as that other guy. I said 95, and she's like, I'm not even going to go to him with 95. I said, okay, well, 105. She went 105. He come back at 135.
Okay.
So I'm just.
So you can do the math. You know where you're going to end up. Is that still a good place to be? No.
I mean, It could be. I mean, it rent like same situation as the other guy. I mean, it does cash flow rent.
What you want to do in this situation is you want to just hang tight. They've got your offer at 105.
So I was in a live yesterday with Jason, and it was funny. He couldn't talk to me because he said he had two other students that were looking at the same property, and he had already underwrote
there's three people on it?
student. Well, they haven't called the realtor. He said he doesn't think they've called the realtor, but he did underwrite something for them. And I'm like, well, I've already spoke to the realtor, and he's like, well, ethically, I can't speak to you about this situation. So
where are you?
I
looking?
hung around in
What state are you in? Ohio? Virginia. Okay. Usually that's not a saturated hold my hand wholesale state. That's weird.
I didn't think so either, but apparently we got a couple of students. So he said he's from like the Stanton area, I believe. So, but yeah, so he wouldn't talk to me about it. So I hung around. The realtor, I told her I'd call her back today after she told me where he was at. The reason she didn't answer the other day was that she was actually changing brokerages. So she was. I looked at the listing again, and it was a different realtor's name on it, and I called him and talked to him. He explained the whole situation, and she wound up calling me back Saturday. And like I said, we had couple really good conversations, and she's
You were
really
you were
excited to work with a new investor. She said she loves to work with new investors because
well, and you're killing it. Like, this is great. Don't worry about the other two people that are sniffing around it.
yeah, I'm not.
Stick tight to your number, because is that the number that works? I mean, does it work otherwise? Because
So
it doesn't seem
when we
sellable
talked,
otherwise.
you said 95. So that's where
Okay.
you said. I
Yeah.
said 95. She's like, not even going to do that. And I said 105, and she went to him. He come back at 135. So he's got it
Okay.
listed at 150. And the
Yeah.
comps
Well, it's
and
pretty
the
tight.
rental and all that
Yeah,
looks good for the area.
So mark
Well,
that one
where
down.
I'm at is, I'm wondering, could I call back, and since he has other properties, to save him headache, can I be like, hey,
Absolutely.
would you want to get rid of
100%.
all of them? Maybe we can work out something
Absolutely.
to just dump them all at one time, or
Yeah. Well, and I think they might want you to prove yourself with the first one, because once you
yeah,
do that,
possibly.
so it's one of those things where we got to just hang tight and wait for them to get a little bit more hungry to sell. But I think you're in a great. The fact that you did all these calls and you got it. I'm
It
so
gets better.
impressed
So
with that.
I called a realtor in Buena Vista for a possible house for myself, and because I told you I got equity in them. Talked to her, and I spoke to her for like an hour, and she's a big time realtor in that area, and she gave me a little tidbit about Buena Vista. So they have a university there, and the university has a lot of on-campus housing. Well, they just
Great.
passed I guess a rule contingency that if people get married there, they're not letting married couples live on campus. So now they're trying to find rental properties outside of the campus. So there's a lot of properties there that I'm trying to call about, because that sounds like a good market.
Well, and getting super familiar with one area is such a great way to go, because then you're the guy. I mean, like, she's the big time realtor, you'll be the big time investor in that area. They'll
she
be
was
like,
like,
"Oh, you got to call
I think
Eric."
she had been in that market for like 30 years. So like,
Oh,
she
that's
was
awesome.
the prominent. It was funny. It was like I said, I had an hour-long conversation with her, and she actually sold a property in Lexington to Dave Grohl, like the lead singer of the Foo Fighters. So I got to
nice.
talk to her about all
Oh,
that.
that's sick.
Yeah, so I was
But
like,
you're building rapport. You're doing everything right. Everything right. Guys, learn from Eric. That's great. That's really good. Okay. So hang tight.
You would say just hang tight on the one? Should I call back today?
It's got to be that price for it to be sellable. I mean,
that's what I'm thinking.
That's the bottom line.
I mean, it cash flows, but it, like you said, for me to make anything,
Exactly. Yeah, hang tight. You'll see. It'll change. Like Richard
don't
always
reach back
says,
out today?
it's a no. It might be a no, but it's a no just right now. It might not be a no down the road.
Mm-hmm. So don't reach back out to her today, or
you can always keep in touch with her. Like, hey, I've ran my numbers, and that's really that's going to be the best I can do. But let me know if there's anything else going on. Super
like
friendly.
I said, she's done shot me a couple other properties and stuff. So
good.
Question for you about your form. So I wanted to try to fill out your form, but like, how much of it do I actually have to fill out if I want you to look at something? Because I got kind of confused halfway through it and started asking me stuff.
So what's happened is everybody's sending things that they want us to just do the numbers on, and that's not what the form is. The form is for, once you've talked to the realtor, you got a verbal agreement with somebody, then we'll look at it. Otherwise, we get inundated with just like, hey, is this a deal? Is this a deal? Is it? And it's like, oh, geez, okay, that's too much. So what we want is, you've gone far enough into these that you can definitely submit it, but we want it after there's a contract. That's even better, because then we can help push it through.
Okay, so I've never actually sent a contract. So back when I was doing the other style of the wholesaling, looking for, distressed properties, homeowners, not dealing with realtors. So how would I actually go about sending this realtor a contract?
We can help you with that. That's fine. If you're to that contract, that's what I'm saying. If you've got a verbal, then we can totally help you after that.
Okay.
A verbal yes, and then we'll help you with the contract for sure.
Okay. But for right now, just hang tight on this, make some more phone calls today.
Yep, get some more. And these are time bombs. We're setting time bombs. And so they'll go off and you'll be like, holy crap, that was somebody I talked to 3 months ago.
So let me ask you something else too. So it's kind of commonplace. So it seems like a lot of the properties that I get interested in and look at that've been on the market for a long time, and then I get interested, and then the next day I look at them, they're like gone or pending. Does that? I mean, I looked at a property the other day that was 170 days on market, and I call about it, and then the next day it's pending. I'm like, okay. And then I called about some trailers. There was like 5 trailers on a property that he was an investor. He has multiple properties. I spoke to that real estate agent. She sent me all his stuff. He does like stick built townhomes, commercial properties, but he had this property, and she was like, well, he wants to sell it, but he doesn't have to sell it. Like, it's
Yeah.
one of those, he put it on the market just to see if he could get some bites on it and stuff. Really good cash flow property and all that. But the next day I go back to look at the property to talk to another person and hear about it, and it's gone. Like, it's been removed from the agency. So
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You never know. You never know what the reasons are for all that stuff. Everything's moving.
it's just kind of
constantly. So-
coincidental, I
which is
guess. Like,
which is good for us too, because
Mhm.
everything's constantly moving. That means that we're, there's volatility, which is really good for us, because we want people that are hungry. The second somebody says, oh, they're just testing the market, you go, okay, well, let me know in 6 months what's going on. Put them on your sheet, somebody to call back in 6 months. Like, have Siri remind you in 6 months,
Mhm.
call so and so on this property. Those kind of things. Staying organized like that. That's where you're gonna. That's where.
So
you're
yeah,
gonna be
with like the property that I talked to the other realtor for myself about, it was a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house, and their motivation was that they're wanting to move to Nashville. Their kids are in Nashville. Grandkids are in Nashville. I mean, this had like Aquarius. Horse stalls and stuff like
Oh, no
that.
kidding.
Yeah,
Equestrian.
and so let me ask you, that's something else. So PropStream said that this property was free and clear, but then when the the real estate agent,
Happens.
they're like, no, they have a mortgage.
Yeah.
I asked, if they would tell me what the mortgage was, interest rates, because they're trying to move quick. And she's like, well, I'd have to ask. I won't disclose it unless they tell me. So I'm kind of waiting back on that. But so was that kind of the right pitch for
You
that
killed
as
it. Yeah.
well?
I mean, that's the thing, is always trust the realtor. If they say there's a mortgage, PropStream sometimes messes up, or they don't get whatever. And it could be a mortgage that's a HELOC or something that they
Okay.
pulled out money, and so it doesn't register real quickly. So always trust the and you can just say, hey, I'll need a mortgage statement if if I can offer sub 2, or a
Yeah.
takeover.
And
So-
she wasn't opposed to that because that house had been on the market for a long time, and I think they're ready to move. But they were
Good.
doing a show. She's like, same kind of thing. So it'd been on the market for 2 months, and she's like, all of a sudden, I got 3 people interested in this property.
It happens overnight.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Well, good.
Okay.
No, plug away. Keep plugging away. You're doing everything right.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you for talking to me this morning.
All right. Okay, bro. Take care. All right, Julio, what's up?
All right.
What's going on, Julio?
Can you hear me all right?
You're really low. Let me see if it's on my side. Go ahead and talk to me.
Is that better?
Oh, yeah, you sound way better now. I can hear you.
I don't know, maybe the mic is underneath the laptop, but yeah.
Sitting on the mic.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Things are going good. I got on the phone with like a handful of realtors on Saturday.
Nice. How's it feeling?
It feels good. Yeah, definitely a different, different flow, different thing.
It's totally a muscle memory thing, right? I mean, you just got to do it, and then you get the cadence. You can kind of feel what they're looking for. Awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And well, I actually ended up speaking to a Spanish speaker, and we actually ended up, synchronizing pretty cool, and we got along. Well, she ended up sending me like, I think like 6 listings.
Great.
And a lot of them are, I think like 2 or 3 of them are looking pretty good with numbers. She even has her own house that she's open to seller financing as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, I just wanted to kind of like see if you can help me determine like a decent offer to start with.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me what's the purchase price?
Right now. So her house is yeah, we'll start with her house. Her house is at 304 300,000 with 500.
304 is what she's asking.
Yeah, 304 is what she's asking, and she just did a price drop on it. So she initially had it at 309,000.
309. Okay.
Yeah, but she dropped it to 304 500.
Okay. So it's at 304 now. What does she have? She didn't no mortgage. She owns it outright.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. And then, so for the best thing you can do is an 8% down payment. Okay, that's where we would start. So that'd be about 24,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I like to do is I like to talk to the seller, especially since you're talking right to the homeowner, and just say, hey, what would you need per month to make this deal work? Because then we can back in the numbers however we want to and get to her monthly. So that's your next conversation. Since you guys are tight now, I think she'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And just say, hey, traditionally we give like 8% down. So around $24,000 down payment. And then we like to, we like to find out what your needs are for a monthly payment to make this work for you and see what happens.
Okay, so she's let's just prepare for the scenario of like if she were to counter or say some number like that's kind of high. This looks like I had the numbers for her.
Here's what's cool is if she says a high number, as long as it still cash flows, you're just putting money in a piggy bank basically when you do these seller finances. And so we can work it out to make it work at that higher monthly. So we're just trying to satisfy their needs. And so you can always come down for sure and battle her a little bit and negotiate.
As long as it cash flows, huh?
Yeah.
What's an ideal good percentage cash flow that will actually sell?
I mean, I'm a huge fan of 30%, but that's
great deal.
really high. So those are the deals that I try to really stress that those are the deals that sell fast and are good. But if you can get it in the 20s, if you can get it, 19, 18%, that's good. If it cash flows more than like what the other guy was saying, like $700, that's great. But again, we need to find out from her what her threshold is. If she tells you, oh, I need $3,000 a month, and you're like, well, wait a minute, that's the rents are $2,200. But if it rents for $3,000 a month and she's just looking for $1,000 a month, well, then you can talk. That's going to work. But we always want to get her as low as possible, just so we have as much cash flow as possible.
I think
so. Make that your next phone call. Just say, hey, I was working out some numbers and I don't have anything yet, but tell me what would you need per month to make the seller finance work on your own house? Let's see what we can do. Okay. And then just go back to your paper, and you don't have to do it on the fly. You will be doing it on the fly in about 2 months because it's all going to make sense to you, and you're going to have a few deals under your belt, and you'll be like, okay, I know exactly what to say.
Yeah, hopefully.
But for now, like just always kind of revert to, oh, let me go run the numbers and see what I can do.
Yeah, I haven't really been upfront about talking. I'll just tell them I'm gonna go do the numbers and I'll hit you back.
Perfect.
In every one of them.
Yeah, it just makes life easier for sure.
Definitely. She also gave me a cash deal. It's the seller is actually asking 50 grand, 51.
Okay. And what's the place worth?
ARV is 128.
Okay, so it needs work.
It needs like 30,000. She said it needs like $30,000.
Okay, so at that point, it's not really a deal, but it would be a deal at 10 grand.
No, she's that's what the seller's asking. So that's what I want to know roughly what you would think I could cop it up for.
10,000. That's what I would offer him 10 grand for it. Because, huh?
What do you think is max? It's over there in.
Well, you got to figure out. Like, I'm not a huge fan of fix and flips at all because I don't like. There's a huge. You never know, and so I always want to plan on whatever they say it's going to cost to repair. It's double that, especially because they're trying to sell a house. And then looking at what the margin is once you sell it in your ARV, it doesn't seem like it's that high. And so I want to get it super cheap.
Okay. Okay, definitely.
And there's no problem offering 10 grand for a house.
Yeah,
It happens all the time.
there's,
People say yes all the time.
there's some properties that are actually nearby that are selling for that because they need a lot of work.
Right. So you can that's even better. You can say, hey, this is what the neighborhood's doing. And they can talk all day long, but oh, well, ours isn't as bad as those. And it's like, well, it's going to need work and I don't know what I'm going to find and, blah, blah, blah. So
Yeah,
you beat them up.
The windows are all plywooded up. It's like, it looks abandoned. Like it's.
Well, they plywood those up. Those are almost better because it means people aren't breaking into them and screwing them up on the inside.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes it looks like they're way more abandoned, but they're not. They're actually, somebody took the time to really seal it up.
Yeah. Okay.
So tell me, recap for me really quick for everybody. I don't know if everybody remembers, but when did you do your very first call?
Saturday.
And how'd it go?
It was all right. I got punked down a little bit by my first call, actually. Yeah.
Didn't the guy, he just totally beat you up?
Yeah, he tried to a little bit, but I mean, it kind of did, he kind of did sniff me out instantly, but
And so fast forward to today, we're just talking 2 days difference. How's your confidence?
much better. Yeah, definitely now know what to say, how to get the realtor's attention and take you seriously. That way, they don't just shut you off on the first few minutes of you talking.
Awesome. How many calls have you done, do you think?
Like 15.
Okay, so it's that easy. It's really that easy. You can just you got to get that first call out of the way, and then the rest of them, you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well done. I'm psyched. Thanks for the update.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Trent.
Okay, bro. Later. All right,
Hey,
Kevin,
Trent.
what's going on?
So I just had a cash deal. I was able to get on the contract.
Nice.
I got it on.
Do you have a camera?
Thank you. Yeah, let me just turn it on for you.
Yeah. Anybody comes up on my lives, I love to have your camera on. It just makes it easier for us all to get to know each other.
All right. So I got it on the contract for 64. It was listed for 90. ARV has it looking at about 150.
Okay.
So I was wondering if that's a deal.
It's okay. It's not amazing. Would you buy it?
Yeah.
There we go.
I think
If you don't say yes right away, then it's not that great of a deal. I like the ones where everybody's like, oh, heck yeah, I'd buy this if I had the money, no problem. But if you have to think about it, so go lower. So you're at 64 and he's at 90?
Yeah.
Let's go a little bit lower and see what happens. What offer did you make? Is 64 what he accepted?
64 is what he accepted, yeah.
Oh, you got it locked up at 64.
Yeah.
No, so you're just ready for a contract and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then we can't really go lower. Yeah, because you can't really negotiate lower after you've already accepted something. And he's asking 90?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're 26,000. There's a gap there of 26,000. We'll see what happens because buyers are gonna say, yeah, I'd buy that for 68 or 65, just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it was 30, then they'd say 65, and you'd be like, oh, sweet, there's meat on the bone. But at 64, it's not amazing.
Because there's closing costs, right, and everything.
There's all sorts of crap. Yeah, everything eats it up.
Now, to follow up on that, what's some good things to say to lower the price?
Talk about the neighborhood, talk about things that you see, talk about the fact that your construction guy looked at it and said that it's going to be way more to get it up to snuff. I mean, it's going to be how much in repairs did you say?
Let's say 30, around 30.
Well, then now you're Yeah, now you're four grand over what he's asking. You know what I'm saying? Like do you see how that's not a deal? Because if you've got that much in repairs just to get it up to 90,000, you know what I mean? So and it's not selling at 90. I know when it's fixed, it's going to be prettier. But if your ARVs aren't 150 or 160, there's just not a ton of room for investors to put in all that effort. But they'll totally turn their head at 30. They'll be like, holy crap, okay, it's at 30 and you say 64. Well, there's your margin. That's where you're going to make your money.
I got a quick question on this real quick, because I think this could be helpful for everybody. So when you do these deals, right, assuming that this is a cash deal, you have an inspection contingency, 7 days, whatever it is. So you're assuming that Kevin's not boots on the ground. He's not actually performing the inspection. A buyer is, right? So they'll go in, do the inspection with that contingency. Would that be a situation where he can renegotiate a lower offer at that point?
Good point. Yep, absolutely. I've done that before. The inspection for me, I was going to buy one and there was so much wrong with it that I pulled out because there was so much wrong with it. So yeah, you can definitely then you have a reason to complain and say, oh, you know what? We did the inspection, but that's going to cost you, the buyer's going to have to pay $500 for that. And so the buyer's actually going to be the one that's going to come back and say, hey, this thing's worse off. I don't want to pay as much as what you're asking. Where Kevin's already got it under contract at 64.
Well, I haven't signed it yet, but she sent it over. And about the contract, on the bottom of the contract, it says the contract, and it quotes, I quote, it says the contract is for use by the agent. Use by any other party is illegal and voids the contract. Does that mean I can't wholesale that?
What they're saying, well, see in there, does it say that it's assignable? So what they're saying is just that contract, they wrote it up and they don't want other people using their contract to do other deals. That's what that part of it means. But is it assignable? Do you know what that means?
That I don't know. I haven't really gone into...
Take the whole contract, copy it, and paste it into ChatGTP and say, does this contract say that this is assignable? Super easy way to, then you don't have to read it. Because we're all lazy and we don't read these things. Also, the other thing I do is I copy and paste it in the chat and say, I'm the buyer of this property. Is this a good deal for me? And it will say, well, no, because it says this and this and this. Or it will say, well, this definitely isn't a good deal for the seller. And if it says that, then you're like, oh, sweet. That's what I want.
So, or I'll have to figure out if it's actually assignable because some contracts may state that it's not assignable.
Has to be assignable, 100%, or you can't do it. Because if you do a double close, once you're into a double close world, then you're about 10 grand into closing costs and all that stuff. Double close costs a lot.
What's a double close? Can you?
So double close is when you, like, I'd buy it and then I'd sell it to you immediately. So you have to sell it to me. It has to be sold to me. All the transaction has to happen, and then I sell it to you. So assignable is I'm just selling you the contract. Double close means I'm closing for me, and then I'm closing for the ultimate buyer. And it's not, we don't love to do that because it's expensive. Unless, it's $1 million property and we've got a ton of leave room and a ton of margin, then it's okay because we don't mind losing a little bit of money to double close it.
So in this, what scenario would you use that in? If
you've got a ton of equity, I mean, like if the margin is $120,000, then you're not as concerned about losing $4 grand in a double close because it costs about another $4,000 to double close, and so you've got a ton of money in the deal, so you're okay with it.
Okay, and so if I were to go through with one of these, or I would sign it and then put the purchase and sale agreement on Buy Box Cartel, and then the buyer would create their a new contract, right? Or how would that work?
When the buyer's going to go by your contract, you're selling that contract to the buyer, and so they'll go by all the rules and the everything for that buyer. Unless it's a double close, then it's a whole new contract.
Okay. Now, if they were to buy the contract and the contract on the bottom, it says that if anybody else uses it, it's void. Does that
Okay, again, it's
mean?
that one thing that you're seeing is just for using that template, that contract template. They're saying, hey, this
Okay.
is our contract. Nobody else is allowed to use it. This is what they're saying.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
allowed to use it if you're using it as a contract in a deal with them. Does that make sense?
Okay. I just, yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
so it's like you wrote a term paper, and at the bottom of the term paper, you say nobody else can use this term paper, but somebody gets it and they try to put it in. You know what I'm saying? So it's your term paper, and somebody else is trying to use it for their term paper. It's the same thing. A contract's a pain in the butt to put together, and so they're just trying to protect their contract to not be used by other people. Make
Okay.
sense?
Right. Okay. Let me see if I have any other questions here. Oh, and all contracts have the inspection. So if it doesn't sell, is there any clause in the contract that would say you can't like cancel it within the inspection period?
That's why we do the. That's why we do that inspection period. The inspection period is not only for inspecting the real estate itself, but it's inspecting the whole deal. And so that gives us 7 days, and always 7 to 10 business days. The longer, the better, because in that time we're trying to sell it to a buyer. So in that time, if we don't like the deal, we can cancel before the end of the inspection period.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So as long as I have the inspection period, I can cancel.
Yeah, as long as you're within the inspection period, then you can cancel for any reason. But we usually blame it on the lender.
Okay.
Make sense?
Now would I have to now would just put this on buy box, right, and try to have the buyers there look at it, but would I have to put this on Facebook or anything?
You can. Then you're selling it on your own. I wouldn't suggest it for the first ones because you can get screwed pretty quick. I would definitely go through Hold My Hand and let them
Okay.
help you out. But again, you really want to make sure it's once you've got a really good deal. Right now, this is not a really good deal. Tough to sell.
Okay. I mean, if it's within what buy box says, so I was hoping it would come up.
No, I know, and but if you have a buy box buyer, is there a certain buy box buyer that wants it?
I haven't posted it yet.
Okay,
I haven't signed it yet.
No, I got you. But in buy box, there's by state. It will tell you criteria for different people. If it fits that criteria, then it's supposed to be sellable to that person. Have you seen that in buy box?
I said it was like 60 or 70 people out of like 90 people said it was a deal.
Okay.
It said they so yeah.
Yeah. Then then you definitely want to put it through buy box, and they'll help you out for sure. But if you want to JV with us, we can help you through that process too.
Okay.
But try to get a
and
lower.
The signature and initials, I'll try to get the signature and initials would be my own.
Yes, and then and buy box, I'm never really clear on that. And anybody in the chat who's dealt with it, sometimes they are happy to sign it, but also sometimes they're not. So I really don't know the hard fast rule in there. Anybody in the chat dealt with that yet? If we have to sign, or if Grandin Taylor signs for us in when we do dispo with them. There we go. Thank you, Reno.
For a cash.
Buy box will sign sub 2 or creative, but not cash deals. Okay, good. So you sign a cash deal.
Okay. All right. Okay. And if it doesn't fall through, I have that 10 days to cancel for whatever.
Yeah, 10 business days. Always say business days. That's because that gives you extra days.
Okay. All right. Got it. Okay. All right. So
yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we only want good deals that, because what happens with a deal that's okay is it clogs up the whole system, because now we're fighting harder to try to sell it and we're getting less. So to save us from all of that, you get a great deal at the beginning. It just flies through, because then you have buyers. You have everybody's excited about it.
Mm-hmm. Right. But if I do sign this, I won't have to buy it, right? I have the ability to cancel.
Yeah, within that 10 days. So the,
Okay.
the 10 days is your EMD. That's where you start off. Canceling contracts is not a big deal. So that 10 days, you're just saying, hey, I'm going to give you $1,500 in 10 days to prove that I'm going to buy this from you guys. So you're only on the hook for that $1,500 if you don't cancel. So you just make sure you cancel. That's really important.
Okay. All right. Got it. All right. Thanks a lot, Trent.
Okay, bro. Take it easy.
Thank you.
All right. Have 25.
Hey, Trent, how are you? I'm in the process right now of driving, so I can't turn on my camera like last time.
Okay, no problem.
But hey, so I'm gonna send you a deal. I just not a deal, but like an address
Okay.
for you to be able to look at.
I see it. Let me take a look at it. Where are you at with this? Have you talked to the realtor?
Yes, so I actually talked to the realtor, got a great freaking connection with her.
Excellent.
So we had like a 45-minute conversation. This had to be my second week making calls, and I'm getting more getting used to. So
Love
long
it.
story
Then.
short, yeah.
Cool.
Long story short, this particular property that you see would be a cash deal. I ended up finding out that the owner was an original fix and flipper,
Okay.
and he got into a really bad deal with the contractors, and
Okay.
he's upside down with them. And no matter what he gets, unless he gets, I think it's like 120, he's still gonna be upside down. So he just wants to get rid of it, right?
Okay.
So obviously, I asked her. I was like, "Okay, I see the pictures. What exactly do you think this would like rehab cost would go for?" And she was telling me that, look,
At least
oh, go ahead.
30. Hopefully, she said at least 30 grand.
No. She told me anywhere from 10 to 15 just to get it on the market. That's what she told me.
Right.
Again, I don't know. I always overestimate. So I just put about 20,000 again. But if you think otherwise, then of course, I asked her.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
so your magic bullets right now are, this guy's losing money no matter what.
Right.
So
Right.
if you offer lower than what he's expecting, it really doesn't matter, because he's already lost that money in his eyes.
Right.
So if
Right.
you came in here and said, hey, I'd give you 30, or I would even start with 25 grand. Say it's a huge project. I could give you 25 grand. He's like, well, I'm a fix and flipper. I know. And it's like, well, but you already told us that you got screwed.
Right.
I just need to protect myself from not getting screwed. I don't want to be on the hook.
Absolutely.
So it's it's the perfect, such a great scenario, because, and this is my whole point of finding out what's going on, knowing the story. You found out the story. You know exactly where his pain point is.
Yeah.
And you can just come in and say, well, here's the deal. It happened to you. I don't want it to happen to me.
Absolutely. And so that's.
Feel free
I
to
was
be
thinking
a little bit rough with them, and go deep, go cheap.
Of course. So speaking to the realtor, she was very honest, and I was like, look, what are the odds of him accepting my offer, right? Because I had verbally just said
Sure.
30,000, but I had to do more. And she goes, honestly, and I know you don't like people cursing, but she goes, it just depends what F's he gives that day, because that's how he is.
Exactly.
Like, okay.
Good. And that too. This is so great.
Yeah.
You're in because some people, the value of a house to some people is zero. At this guy, he's already lost his money. It's not like
Absolutely.
any money that comes in is bonus. He'll be like, oh, sweet.
Absolutely.
At least I got 25 grand back. He'll write off the rest of it.
Absolutely. Exactly. But here's my other thing. So obviously, in this area that I'm looking, I'm focused in that area. I don't want to disclose it, right?
Yep.
And there's not a lot of comps, right? So I asked her, I was like, look, like, I don't see a lot of, comps. And she goes, well, this area, particular after, fixing it goes for anywhere from 110 to 120, right? So I was like, okay, but I just don't know if I should take your word for it because I don't see it. But if that's the case, this would be a great thing to get, right? Maybe at like 25,000 if you accept, to
you almost don't need comps if you get it that low. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Cool.
I'm just trying to see if he has any other. It's interesting. He's a fix and flipper, but he hasn't done any other deals. He doesn't have any other linked properties.
Yeah, that's what she told me. I don't know. No. So this is actually his first one. So
okay, good. Okay, yep. That's even better. Like this you're in a good, like, situationally, this guy is totally like, frick, I tried it, I sucked, I failed. If I can get 20 grand back, that's a rebate. It's a total refund for him.
Perfect. So here's what I'm trying to do, and I'm glad that I spoke with you, is I'm gonna send an email today, I told her, with an offer via email, right?
Good.
And then she'll present it to him. Now with her, I asked her, do you have any other, properties that you're willing, because I made a good connection that she's willing to, like share with me. And she goes, yes, but there are in a rural area. So I was like, oh man, I know somebody here that does it.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, I'll take those. So that's that. Now I have another one, which I already spoke with the realtor as well. This is a side one. And I just want to show everybody that sometimes it's not the property that you go in, but what you get out of it if you build a relationship. So property, he's like, look, man, he told me straight up, he's like, I don't think this is something that you want to get into. I was very honest with him of what I was looking to do. And then because we made a connection, he goes, look, like I have 6 properties with 7 doors, so 1 duplex that I'll send over to you, right? Bringing in. Oh, did somebody say something?
Yeah, Coy, turn off your mic, please. There we go. Okay, sorry, go for it.
Yeah, so bringing in $4,900 a month of rent because they're already occupied.
Okay.
And he's asking for all 6 $460,000, right? So he's like 460. I'll let him go. So he's sending me that. I guess, is that what you consider a portfolio?
Yeah, that's a portfolio.
Okay.
Anything that's more than one. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So he's sending me that portfolio. So I most definitely, Trent, would like to work with you. I'm always on your lives. It's just my face is not on, but
no worries.
I would like to see, what we can do there.
Yeah, let's look at
I think
it.
that's awesome. All right, thank you so much. I'll send you the.
Great job. And I'm really impressed with how much information you got. I hope everybody in the live understands. Getting information is everything because it gives you your strategy. It gives you a whole reason to even talk to anybody. So let's make those phone calls, you guys. I mean, it's I start sounding like I'm on a Make-A-Wish telethon, but call. I mean, you cannot call enough because that's where the gold is. That's where the information is. And then you can do what you're doing is perfect. You got so much information.
Right. No, and thank you. And again, I guess, and maybe somebody here in the chat or you as well can give me a little bit more of, I would say, encouragement because I work a full-time job, obviously, so it's hard for me to make calls before 5 p.m.
Okay.
And then obviously I have kids. So, it's kind of like I have like that hour window aside from the weekend. And I got this information during the weekend on Saturday because nobody really picked up on Sunday.
Okay. Well, first of all, the simplest thing you can do is get rid of your kids. So simple. You can just be done with them. There's a refund policy, get rid of the kids. Where do you work? What's your job?
So I work with Royal Caribbean.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You have the friends and family?
I do.
Oh man, I had it with Princess, and it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, they're a competitor. I promise you, I can put you on a nice little thing.
No, I'd go on Royal Caribbean, and we can partner now. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, but definitely, we can definitely find people. I know I've got a Mikey who's part of my deal, and he would be great to make phone calls for you. So
perfect.
yeah, so DM me. I'll hook you guys up, and yeah, because if it's just making phone calls and you don't want to get rid of your kids, and you definitely don't want to get rid of that job because the friends and family is worth it, even if you didn't get paid.
Absolutely. Dude, listen,
I mean, I cannot tell you how many cruises we took for $300 for my whole family. It was insane. Like
I always like to tell people, back in my single days, I've been with the company for about 15 years.
Oh wow!
We would just, on the weekend, we would just go on the cruise for like 3 days. Come back on Monday, go to the office. So
$100. Yeah, that's awesome. That's the best.
Yeah,
good for you.
Awesome,
okay,
thank you.
cool.
So I'll send you. So DM you, right?
Yeah, DM me your just DM me your phone number if you could, and then I'll send it over to Mike.
Thank you so much. I'll go back to you hopefully tomorrow if I hear back from her. Okay.
Okay, let's get you rolling on this. So but you don't want to leave Royal Caribbean completely.
No, man. I'll stay at little part-time if anything.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bro. Later. Okaya, what's up? Okia.
Hey.
I do it wrong every time. I'm like, I was looking at it and I'm like, I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get. I always make it more complicated than it needs to be. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, Trent.
That is quite a road you got going on there.
Thank you, man. I like to feel comfortable. Hey, I got a for sure seller's finance deal, man.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I love when you guys say that. Then I can beat it up.
Yeah, it's for sure. She want it done by the end of this month, man.
Okay, tell me what the deal is. How much is the place?
Okay, the place is 200. Okay, the place is 213,000.
And what'd you offer her?
170.
Oh, well, that's backwards. That's great. You offered less for seller finance?
Yeah, I offer 170.
Now, okay.
Okay, they got 2 mortgages on this property.
Oh boy. Okay.
What
Any
they
of them
owe is,
did they say HELOC or anything on them?
No, none of them.
Okay, because these aren't seller financing. You know that. This would be sub 2. Okay, good.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Right. She's willing to do a sub 2 or a seller's finance.
Okay, and she owes 170?
She owe 146.
Okay. She owes 146. Okay.
That's a total of both of them.
There's 2 properties? Oh, both loans. Gotcha.
2 loans.
Okay, what's the interest rate? Go low, go low, go low. Come on.
Okay, the first one is 3.5.
Yeah, we're good there. What's the second one? It's not going to be good.
7.57.
Yeah. How much is on that one?
$5,166.
Okay. We can just wipe that out. Okay. So, and you've offered to just give her nothing at all and come in and take over the loan?
But that's the thing. They trying. The reason why they're selling the property is they're trying to move. And they need money for a down payment on the next property.
How much do they need?
At least 10.
10,000?
Yeah, at least. Okay. I say between 10 to 20 at the most. Between there. She said they just need enough to move in another property.
So I think you can do 10. You definitely can't do 20 because that's all their equity.
Right.
But you could buy $10,000 worth. And what do you think it's worth? What's the home worth?
The home would be worth at least 270. Once it's because it really don't take a lot of rehab.
How much do you think?
At least 1,000.
Just $1,000 in rehab?
At least 4.
Oh, 4,000. Okay, I was going to say 1,000. It just needs like a screen door.
It probably needs like a little paint to it on the outside.
Okay, how's the inside? Pristine?
Yeah, it's nice in the inside.
Okay. You actually, this is so. Here's what you say is you can do 10,000 because you could do 15,000, but you gotta knock down that loan because it's so high in the interest rate. You know what I mean? Right. So I would even do just the opposite. I would say, hey, we can do 5,000 because you've got that $5,000 loan.
Okay.
So you're going to go give them $5,000 to get out of their house.
Okay.
So it's enough where I know they want 10 grand, but let's give them less than what they want.
Okay.
So they understand that there's not much value.
Now, if they don't take that 5, then I'll come back with the 10.
Yeah, 7. Go slow.
Okay.
Incrementally. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
But always ask them what they want. Okay. The most
Okay.
important thing. So you know that they want the 10 grand at least. And so when
Yeah.
you're negotiating, say, okay, what do you propose? Like force them to give you a number. Okay. Because that's going to let you know where they're at.
Okay.
Great job.
Okay.
Good.
All right. I'll be talking to you.
Okay. Good job. And it's
Thank you.
probably the robe that's giving you such good luck.
Thank you, man.
Okay, buddy. Take care.
All right.
Oh, I'm gonna mess it up, but it's YJ, right?
Yeah, YG.
YG. Jeez, I'm so close on all these. I did it to Okia. I did it to you. What's
No
up,
sweat.
YG?
How you going? How you doing?
I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing?
Good. I mean, I had contracts that just fell apart, but like signed and everything, but all good. I think this is like the learning curve.
Absolutely. Why'd they fall apart? Let me hear.
I don't want to put it on anyone, but
No, put it on anybody you want.
No,
Absolutely.
I definitely will.
Well, I know what you're talking about, so don't worry about it.
I came in at an offer price at like 120, and then the community helper I was talking to went up to 160. And I'm like, why are you going up to 160? He's like, no, don't worry, it'll work. And we signed it, and it didn't work.
Oh yeah. Well, of course. I mean, anytime you offer people more than what they think they should get, they'll sign a contract.
Yeah, and I guess I was naive because I'm like, oh, maybe it'll work. Maybe they know more than I do, but I don't know why that happened, but it is what it is. Now I know not to.
So it was a helper. It was a helper that was like somebody in the community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can always run it through my. At that point, you can.
Honestly, I was going through it before, and I don't know why, but I think I was just like, oh, hey, let me see. This guy messaged me. I seen the tag. I'm like, all right, maybe it's like, I know you're busy and whatnot. So I was like, oh, but now I think moving forward, that's what I should do, honestly, just because Marilyn and Mikey were helping out a lot more,
Yeah, we'll help you anytime for sure.
Yeah. Question I had was, so I had these 2 properties that I've been like kind of like working with, and I've been giving them cash offers, and for like maybe like I want to say like 3 weeks now. They're like, oh no, we can't do this number, but I'm keeping a nice rapport with them.
Good.
The question I have though is, at what point, like at what number? So I have a property that needs about $20,000 in rehab, and I have a property that needs minimum $80,000 in rehab. But the ARVs on both of them are really, really good. Like the numbers, like, hey, if it'll work, but they're not trying to take my cash offer, and I was wondering how much I could go above their asking on a seller finance. Like, what's the amount that I could, if that makes sense?
Yeah, no problem. What's the price tag?
Okay, so I have one.
Cash.
Was that 280? Was that 280? The ARV is at 400.
Oh.
So they went down. They dropped at 95,000. When I try to go lower than that, they were like, "No, I'm not down for that."
I would go. I mean, I think you could go 20 grand more just to incentivize them, and go slow. Just say, if I offered you $5,000 more than what we're talking about, would that work? And they'd be like, no, and then you can kind of hit them, because the whole thing is we're trying to mess with their mindset a little bit. So now, I mean, for them to drop at 95,000, they know it's not worth much. They know it's, and so if you're the nice guy that says, you know what, how about if I can work out a way to get you more than what you're asking? Okay, maybe just leave it there. How much more would that have to be for you to say yes to me on a set of payments? Because I just want to incentivize you to take a set of payments. They own it free and clear, right?
Yeah, so I don't do nothing with subject to or mortgages yet, just for religious purposes. I'm trying to figure out if that, if it's all right.
That's interesting. I like
Yeah, just I'm not quite sure. Hey, where it's at, but I'm gonna get the answer for that. But and then so that one I understand. That one is like, hey, it's literally just a floor. So like I know my father. I showed my father the pictures, and I know the square footage. And he did work in Florida before, and he knows it's like, hey, 3 doors and the floor, and I think it was like 1,200 foot, 1,200, 1,300 square feet.
Okay.
It was gonna be around like overestimating 20,000 if you put that like that that cheap vinyl floor.
Yeah.
So, but I have another one that it needs like $80,000. It's in let me see the ARV. I forgot about this one. And I offered him like, so he had it listed at 259. I offered him 180. He was like, no, I need 200. But the property itself needs like $80,000 worth of work. Could I give him the listing price and be like, hey, listen, I could do this, but I just need to make sure. Like, is that something? I just want to make sure if that's like the right thing to do in this business. Like, is that something that's enticing to a buyer when they say, hey, this property needs a lot of work, but it's on a seller finance deal?
Yeah, because we're just trying to incentivize them to take a set of payments. Do they have linked properties? Have you looked at that in PropStream?
Let me see. So
It's one of my
there's
favorite
one of them.
things. It gets
one of
you an
them-
idea of if they've got some money or if they don't.
So one of them, the guy is not in the country. He wants to sell to get out the country. There's no linked properties on here.
Okay, so that means that this is their one and only, and so they're going to be a little bit more emotional about it.
Mm-hmm.
So if the list price is a good price and you're happy with that, it's okay to do it. Usually we go above list a little bit just to incentivize them to take the payments and they'll tell you, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to do a set of payments, and say, hey, I totally understand that. It's just a way that I can get you more money.
Okay.
And so you agree with them on everything they say. It's kind of, it disarms them a little bit because then you're not confrontational and you're a good guy. And so you say, yeah, absolutely. I totally understand not doing that, but I could get you more money in the end. And it might be something that you would look into.
Okay. So yeah, all right, so that's all I want to know. Just want to make sure, because like sometimes I see these like fix and flips or these beaters, and I'm like, hey, I think it'll work. They don't want to take cash offer, but I want to see if it was wise of me to even offer a seller finance in that position.
Gotcha.
But, okay.
What religion are you?
I'm Muslim.
Muslim. And so what's the rule that you're concerned with in the religion?
So I asked my sheikh, and so the thing is like, hey, I don't know if it's allowed for me to pass on the interest rate. So I know like, hey, sometimes like that interest rate, like am I making money on that interest rate, which I shouldn't be doing in the first place,
Gotcha. Okay.
So like so like I know like for me personally, if I want to buy my first time home buyer, we're in America, you have to use that interest rate. You have to like buy it the first time. But I don't know in business wise, am I allowed to pass on interest?
Gotcha. Okay. So as far as religious wise, if you're allowed to pass on the interest at an accelerated level, right? Like when you start profiting off of, because you don't want to be a user, like it's a usury thing, correct?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to be like, hey, I'm promoting interest to somebody else too. Like, hey, I'm making money promoting this interest. Like, hey, you want this interest rate here, take it, and I'm making money off of that.
Gotcha.
So, I got a short answer of it, but I still need to do my due diligence to make sure.
No, because you don't want to.
By the way, just so everyone hears, I don't know if anyone's been doing this for maybe like a month or two or longer than that, but I got my first few last week. Was like anyone that I called was POSs.
Everybody, you just got a bad.
I'm telling you, like it was every single call I had was a POS, and I'm just like. And then I was like thinking later, I was like, yo, I could have just bugged out on him. I'm like, nah, let me just.
No, and there's never any reason to, because it's just, you never know.
Yeah. But literally all last week, I think I like, not all last week, but it was once a day minimum. Once a day minimum. It was a piece of
well, and if you can have fun with it, that's even better. Like if you can just, you kind of have fun with them and just poke them a little bit, just to have,
I'll just be like, okay, no problem. I know where this is going. Yeah, I don't like working with rude people anyway, but it's all right. Thank you. And then I just bang it on them.
That's awesome. That's funny.
But appreciate the help, Trent.
Okay, buddy. Take it easy.
All right, man.
All right, Paul, what's going on? You got a camera Oh, you're on mute. Hold on. All right, Paul.
Yeah.
There we go. How are you, buddy? Yeah, you're on mute.
Okay.
No, you're not.
And
How
then-
are you?
All right, brother. Can you hear me good or?
So good. Unbelievable. It's like next
Okay.
level.
Well, I'll turn it down a little bit.
No, you're fine. You're good.
I had just joined the Discord like about last week, and I've been watching Trent on TikTok and stuff, and I've been interested in this for a while.
Great.
But I actually made some calls last week, and I got in touch with this realtor, and there's a house that they had that's going to be a short sale.
Okay. When's it? What's the deadline? Do you know the date?
I don't know exactly. They did send me over some information about the house, but do I need to get a mortgage statement from them to see what they owe on the house, or?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sometimes they'll give you access to their mortgage company, like the password. Sometimes, not always. But yeah, definitely get so you know exactly what's going on for sure.
Okay.
And find out the date. The date of when they lose their house is super, super important.
Okay. And what I mean, would I try to do that as a seller finance, or?
It would be a sub 2 because you're taking over their mortgage. Do they have a good mortgage?
Sub 2.
Do they have a good mortgage?
The house is listed for 140, and it's been on there for over 105 days. I don't, like I said, I need to ask them for a mortgage statement.
Yeah, you don't know their interest rate?
That I don't know.
Okay, find that out. It'll be on PropStream.
On PropStream. Okay. I tried to download that earlier and it wasn't letting me log in, but I was going to put it in there. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,840 square feet for 140,000.
Yeah, you don't know how much it is until you get the mortgage statement because if you're going to take it over.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll get that. Try to get that information. I'll text her and
cool.
Get that, and then maybe I would like somebody just like I said. I just started this, and
absolutely,
I would really like somebody to work with me on going through that process. Just sort of get the ball rolling the first time, and
sure, absolutely.
Pretty fast learner. I think I'll catch on a little bit.
You reach out to anybody in the Discord; they'll help you with it. But the main thing you want to know is the interest rate and the when everything's going to go away for the seller.
The deadline, the interest rate, the mortgage.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. I'll get that information and then I'll reach out more.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Okay, see ya. Okay, Coy. What's up?
Hey, Trent, how you doing, man?
Good. What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? I think yesterday you asked me to turn on my camera.
Yes, sir. Here you are. You can turn it off now. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, so I'm here too. It's Kev. It's Kev. We spoke before.
Hey, how's it going? How'd that happen?
We work together, man. We work together.
It's like you guys know each other. Okay, that's cool.
Of course. So I have a cash deal. So I got it on. So it's listed at 140.
Okay.
140K, and I got it locked up for 100K. It's beautiful. It's turnkey.
Okay. Doesn't need anything. Okay.
Doesn't need anything. I remember your question yesterday. You said if my mom would live in it. So yeah, of course.
Okay, good. That's the way to decide because moms are picky.
Yeah, so that's one of them. I have another cash deal.
And so you've got that under contract?
Yeah. He's about to
okay,
sign.
and it's assignable?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it
good.
rents out
Okay. You guys are on fire.
It also rents out for like 1,200. So pretty good. It's in
oh, you're in a good spot.
Yeah, Dayton, Ohio.
Okay, great.
And I have another one. It's listed at 185K, and I got it locked up for 145. but it's in a zone of a duplex, but it's renovated as a single family.
Okay, that's okay. No problems
Okay.
there.
All right.
Okay, and then
And
do you think you can go lower on these or no? Do you think you can go any lower?
I tried to, but
Okay, good. You did. You made the effort.
yeah, I made an effort,
Were
and
you guys-
yeah, she sent me the contract. I haven't signed it yet. I just don't
Okay.
know where I should put it in the contract. Where do I?
You can also, I mean, do you want me to JV with you and you can put it through my my health form, because that's when I want to see them, is when you've got a contract pending. We'll look over the contract, we'll make sure everything's good.
Okay.
And I know it's your first one, yeah?
Yes.
Wow, let's do it. So do you see the help form? The TKO, the black TKO student help form in the chat?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, just fill that out and send it over to us. That'd be great. Good job, guys.
Of course.
Well, it's cool you're working together.
And I have one more. I have a seller finance. I'm sorry, I have a lot, but
You're on fire.
the seller finance deal, right? So
Yeah.
this one was yesterday, and
Okay.
he's really motivated. Like
I like that. Good.
the realtor want to get it done ASAP.
Let's go.
And
Tell me the numbers.
well, I submitted through Bus Cartel, and I don't know how is that gonna work. Like, does it
What's the
take
timeline?
Yeah, what's the timeline on that one?
It takes forever. So be ready for that. Everything in real estate takes forever.
All right.
And they'll tell you that they'll get it done by Friday, and guarantee that's not this Friday, it's a Friday.
Damn.
So that's real estate. Everything takes forever, because there's always something that wasn't signed by somebody, and then somebody didn't email in time, and blah blah. So don't expect anything fast. But tell me what the deal is, and let's see what we can do for this guy. I mean, if he wants seller financing, we can maybe move it quicker.
It's the deal yesterday.
You're calling on a Sunday and you're getting deals.
You
You're
saw
like a
what?
genius. You're calling on a Sunday and you're getting deals?
Well, this was like, I call this one. Actually, I didn't call. Well, I call this one, but they wouldn't pick up. They just prefer text.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool. But you're contacting them. That's
Yeah.
huge. Okay, what are the numbers?
So it's listed at 109, and I
Okay.
got it at 125, but with a set of payments. It's the
Okay.
deal. We discussed this deal before. Have we
I
not?
think so. Yeah. Remind me what are the payments per month?
So the payments per month was 650.
Okay. And it cash flows or no?
Yes, the cash flows.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Let's get
300.
those all in. Yeah. Do you want to get them all in to me, and let's get working on them?
Of course. I mean, let's get something done.
You're doing great. You're doing really good. Is it because of him?
No, I mean, well,
Nah, it's because of him.
I don't know.
Who's the smart one here? There's always a smart one.
This guy right here.
Oh my God.
Okay, good. You guys and you're both humble. That's great.
Of course.
Where are you from originally?
Huh?
Where are you from originally? I hear an accent.
Yeah, I'm from the Cayman Islands. My whole
yeah?
family is Jamaican.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
Him
is
too,
it
or
really
no?
strong? Is it really? Yeah,
No, I'm Haitian.
Haitian. Okay, great. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. That's great.
We grew up here. We knew each other since middle school. So that's where-
Awesome.
Right.
Excellent. Do you go back ever? Do you go to do you go back home?
Well, we're about to.
About to. About to. I haven't gone back in 8 years now.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you get to go back. That's awesome. Great
Sure.
place. I've been several times. I love it.
Oh, which part?
We were in it was on a cruise, so wherever they dumped us off on the cruise.
West Bay, Georgetown.
Must have been Georgetown. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not too bright when I don't remember where I've been.
Did you like it?
I loved it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's
The best.
beautiful, right? The sea is clear.
Oh yeah, no, I could snorkel for years. I mean, I feel like I'm flying when I'm doing that. I just love it.
And how about the food? The food is good too.
It's amazing. Jerk chicken all day. What were the Johnny cakes? Yeah,
Yeah.
All
Oh
day.
my gosh, man.
All day.
You should go to Jamaica.
Yeah, we've been there too. Yeah, we were in Ocho Rios or yeah.
So what's the JV rate? Like, what would you say that?
What we do is once we get everything done, so we put everything through buy box, and
Okay.
they do a 60-40 split with us. So they get 40, we get 60, and then we split the 60 50-50.
Okay.
So it'd be 30, 30, 40, but then they give me a 10% bonus for being a group leader and doing the
Okay.
lives and stuff. But that doesn't affect your 30. Your 30% still stays there.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right.
All right.
Good deal.
So how can I send it? So just send it through this form that you
click on that, and it's gonna ask you a bunch of questions. It makes it super easy. And then at the end you just submit, and then you're good to go.
Okay, gotcha.
Sounds
Well,
good.
sounds good. Thank you so much.
All
If
right,
I have
guys.
any other questions,
done.
I'll just let you know, okay?
DM me anytime, and you can and reach out once you put once you put them in, you're going to be assigned to one of my team,
Okay.
and they'll help you out. But have you've worked with Marilyn, or have you worked with Marilyn? She's in the chat right now. Marilyn's amazing. Yeah, there's a bunch of them, so they'll all help you out.
Okay. All right,
Okay?
then. Thank you so much.
All
You have
right.
a great one.
Okay, take care, guys.
All right, guys.
Okay, Paul, we did, and then Linnell. I'm going to put you back, Paul. What's up, Linnell?
How you doing, man?
Good. What's going on?
Let me get my screen on. Yeah, everything's good. Calling a lot of people and making a lot of offers. Everyone seems to be hitting the road bump of seller financing, but calling it owner financing. Is there a difference?
Same difference, because the seller is the old owner. Yeah, so it's
Okay.
owners.
Yeah, so I get a lot of good deals. People who are coming in doing deals for cash offers, but they're coming in low, which I already know, and I always say, hey, would they be open to any sort of coming in at offer price but doing a set of payments? And they said no, they don't want to do owner financing, and I still try to get around the objection, but I'm still having a hard time with that one. Is there any reason? Well,
then what you can do is say, what if I get you more? I could probably get you, $10,000 more.
Yeah.
On a set of payments. Would that incentivize you? That's how you kind of want to, because the whole reason we're paying a little bit more is to incentivize them to take seller financing. Seller financing is not the greatest way to go, but we're trying to explain to them that here's a cool way that you can make a little bit extra money.
Yeah. It seems as if they've been given that offer on many times, and they're just seems like everyone's not really biting at that option anymore.
Yeah, and it is a you got to kiss a lot of frogs to find a prince, for sure, in this situation.
Okay. I did send in that one deal with the sub 2 offer, but I got a bunch of text messages, and it seems like it was confusing on their part, because I said, hey, I already talked to Trent. I know the guy would love to do that, but he's very wary. Here's the details, and I think they got confused. So I don't know if you've got a bunch of submissions and you'll get back to me later. But
we get 100 a day, so it might be that who did you talk to? Do you remember?
No, I didn't talk to anybody. It was only a text message.
Okay, yeah, just text them back, ask who it is, and I'll find out what they're, and then maybe I can give them some clarity.
Okay, cool. That's it. Cool.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate
it. All right,
it.
let me pull some more people up here. Stand by. Let's go to. I'm going to bring up 3 more people. Okia, did you need to come back up? I'm bringing you back up, or was that a mistake? All righty. Let me just see real quick. Okia, did we miss out on something earlier, or did you just come back up? You're muted.
I talked to the realtor.
Oh, good.
They talking about, I asked her, I said, how much money do they need down to move in another house? She turned around and said, they need at least 60,000.
Oh yeah, good luck. Yeah, there's no way.
Okay. Now, but now she's saying like a owner's finance, seller's finance. Now, when you're doing the seller's finance, do the price supposed to be higher than what they're asking for, or is we supposed to get it lower than what they're asking for?
So we incentivize them, and it all depends. I never want to pay more than I have to. So that's
Right.
we want to get them to that threshold that they'll accept seller financing. So if they've dropped their price a lot, sometimes it's just going back to the old price that they actually wanted at the beginning. So where are we at price wise?
Okay, the price they asking for 213. They cut the price five. They cut it from 5,000.
Yeah, so
It's
you could go in
it's
and offer
218
218 and see what happens on a set of payments.
on a set of payments.
Yep.
Okay, now would that still help out the 60,000 that they need to move in?
Nope.
So how,
That's insane.
what-
Yeah, they don't have that. It was a sub 2 deal, right?
yeah,
They don't
because
have
it's
they don't
right,
have that kind of equity in their house. They had $18,000 in equity minus, and then that $5,000 7.5 loan. So they have maybe 13,000 in equity. There's money that's going to be owed to the realtor. They have
right.
zero equity. Then yeah, tell them where do you expect that 60 grand to come from? I could only give you 5.
Okay, I'm gonna call her back.
Yeah, and call them dummies too. That's always good. Like dummy?
Because
Why are you such a dummy?
right, because when she said 60,000, I'm looking like, where is that coming from?
Yeah, that's
You
your
know,
question. That's your next question. Like, okay, awesome. Where do I find that? Where is
the
there?
only way you're gonna get 60,000 is on a cash deal.
Or if there's not even on a cash deal. I mean, only if there's if there's a pot of gold in the backyard, maybe that might be the way. Yeah, not even close. Yeah, even a cash deal is not going to work for 60.
because
No way.
right. So
Yeah, just ask him. Say, you've got to, help me out with the math. Can you send me how you expect that math to happen when you only have maybe $10,000, $5,000 in equity?
okay, I'm gonna call her back.
Okay, cool.
All right, keep you informed.
All right, thanks. All right, let's see, JJ. Oh, okay, there we go. Sorry, Sean, I didn't mean to.
Oh,
Hey,
how's
what's
it
up,
going?
JJ?
I'm on
Hey,
my.
how'd the meeting go?
I have it tonight at
Oh,
the
sweet.
dinner. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over. So I wanted to just tell him I want to potentially bring cash investors to, or provide value.
Okay, so here's what I would do. Don't tell him what you want to do. Ask him what he needs
To spend
Okay.
money. That's what he told me. That's why he wanted the dinner. He said he needs to spend money or get loans.
Okay.
Get loans.
Perfect. So that's the best thing. Don't make any promises to him at all, because
No,
it's only going to be something where he's disappointed, because if you don't come through completely, then he'll be disappointed and you'll lose credibility. Everything you say with him is, all right, let's see what we can do. Okay. It's never a promise.
Correct. No, and I also called some couple multi-units, and what I found out that he has a brother that owns a brokerage that has a huge current stock of big multi-families for sale. So I'm like, if people like in this group like John who are already working on big unit properties, then being able to use or potentially bring these cash buyers who have cash and Richard's portfolio to these buying them for these multifamilies, using this guy as a lender. It's his brother who owns the company, so it's like they would trust the credibility as long as they bring, round up the cash entry fee for any deal that goes under contract.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm just saying there's a lot of credibility for me to say I can bring cash buyers for this.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Again, we don't want to make any promises.
No, I got you. Sounds
And
good.
just say, you can say, I mean, I'm the director of Hold My Hand Wholesale. If you want to say that, say, hey, I'm working directly with the director of Hold My Hand Wholesale. They have over 10,000 students that are getting deals and deal finding. So I'm tapping into that. I've got a good relationship with him, and he can come to any of our talks if you want.
Yeah, he's super interested in learning. I just said there's a lot of computerizing and getting us numbers. He's like, oh, that's really cool, and so he's really open to just seeing and open ears as well. So that's a good thing. Yes, sir. I have this other property where this woman, interesting. She's open to being creative, but that little background on this property, it was owned by the grandma. Grandma passed away. Then they were gonna move an auntie to that property. While they were transitioning the property to kind of get ready, the aunt died as well. So now two family members died, and they're kind of saying, well, they're not living in it, but it's I think it's from what I saw on PropStream, they took an FHA loan out on it. So I don't know if that's better for us or how to go from here, because I think they're asking for a little bit higher than what it would go for, because they just need carpets in 2 of the bedrooms that they have, and that's basically it. Everything else is tip top ready. And the only reason they took it out was because they believed that the grandma had pets and they pissed on the carpet, so they just took that out and then fixed that. So that's the only thing that needs to be done. What do you think would be next, sub 2, or what do I go from here? She said she's open to creative. She just said submit me an offer and we can go from there. And so
find out what they owe on the property. Do you know?
I have PropStream, and on PropStream it says that they owe the estimated balance says 210.
Okay, and what do you think it's worth?
From what Zillow is saying, 261.
Okay. So you got a little bit of leeway in there. And what's the interest rate?
2.96.
Yes.
It's FHA.
Sub 2 all day. That's awesome.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah. So with sub 2, you can come in and offer them. I'm rough because I'd offer nothing. I'm like, hey, we can just come over and take over the loan. You don't have to deal with it. What do they pay per month?
Not sure. I think it seems from what the numbers are.
You'll stay right on PropStream.
Where I think it was 40
down by the mortgage, all the way over to the right. It says estimated payment
versus opportunity.
Just right, no, right before where you got the balance down below.
Hey, I'll look on my computer.
No problem. Go down. Okay, click on mortgage and transaction history.
And then, estimated loan 948.
948. Then okay, and have you looked to see what it rents for?
Yeah, from what section 8, just section 8 says 1560. But that's just section 8. I don't know. Probably like $300 more from leasing it out.
So it's right on the verge of cash flowing positive. It might not cash flow positive.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But if it's nice, then it's okay. But yeah, I mean,
should I just send it over and just propose a sub 2 that would basically just be taking over, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work?
Yeah, you can tell them that. Say, hey, I'll just I for this to work for me, I can just take over your mortgage, and that's great because then you walk into it with $60,000 of equity.
Can I give them that argument, or so would the balloon come in hand in this scenario?
Oh, not at all, because we don't do a balloon on sub 2s. We only do that on seller finance, and seller finance has to be owned outright. So that's not even, seller finance isn't part of this because they don't own it. And the way you can remember it is, it's a seller that's going to finance, and so the seller has to own completely to be able to finance.
Oh, okay. So it's not solar finance. It would just be a sub 2 because they don't
be a sub 2. Yeah, and just say, hey, I talked to my investor, and he said we can happily come in and take over your loan and relieve you from that $1,000 a month that you're paying. If that's interesting to you, let me know.
Yeah, because it seems like it's just a hassle on her. So I'm gonna just go into argument like, I want to relieve this headache off of you. I don't know. It seems like you've been on market for a while, so let me get on this new headache of yours. And what do you even think if she says like 5,000 is not even worth giving it to her?
5,000 would be fine.
Yeah, like nothing even worth, like what, like says no more than Because I mean, I'm really good at that kind of manipulation thing. So what's the most I can offer? Is like no more than 5, really?
I would say 5, maybe 10.
Because it's really not a good deal. It's only subject to, because again, the equity is not really there.
Right, and it's, I mean, that 261 is, we're guessing. I would go top 5 grand that I would
Right.
offer.
Yeah, just to be safe. Okay, I got you. And that's it. That's all I have. And I just continue to get some more leads. And I'll text you about how it goes later tonight, and it'll go well.
Okay, just liquor him up big time. Just keep on pouring him wine. So
No, yeah. Yeah, I got you. I'll give you a heads up. I'll talk to you about it later.
Okay, I'm totally kidding. All righty.
He's a drinker, so that's all right.
Okay, good. You don't have to try hard.
No, not at all.
Good job, JJ.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay. Ale. Oh, Alec Cause. Jeez Louise. Why can't I just read things?
Hey, I'm Alex.
Hey, Alex. How's it going?
I'm good.
Good. Do you have a camera?
Yeah. I do. I can try to turn this on. Sorry. Is it working?
It's coming up. Oh, nope, it says no. So you're okay. What's going on?
Yeah, so I have a seller finance offer. He's looking to start the paperwork sometime this week. He said he's like snowed in or something.
Oh, okay.
So
Perfect.
and I just had a couple questions about the offer or the deal I have. So there's 2 units, and one of them's being leased out for 6 months. And it started in 2025, the first day of 2025, January 1st.
Okay.
And then the other unit is on a month-to-month lease. And I just wasn't sure how that would work on a buyer's end, or how a buyer would see that, and how I would plug that into like a contract or the buy box creative contract.
You definitely want to have the leases, just so you have a copy of the leases. I like it when there's already somebody in there, then I don't have to find somebody. And finding somebody is expensive to rent your place. So that's not a big deal. The month to month is not guaranteed, but it's nice to have them in there too. So yeah, I think you're fine.
Yeah, he said he thinks they'll probably renew.
Good. Yeah, if you have a year, is the one a year lease?
He said it's a 6-month lease. I'm not
That's
sure.
interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll take whatever.
Yeah, and the other problem with the deal is, or not, I don't know if it's a problem, but it's like it's 20 minutes outside of big city Chattanooga. And the population's 15K where it's at. So
Okay.
I wasn't sure if that's a big game changer or.
You know what?
I'm guessing it is.
Yeah, that Singaporean kid is doing everything rule. So I don't believe there's any hard fast rule either way.
Okay. I tried to get good term, and it's at a 4% interest rate.
Okay. Which is okay. It's amazing.
It's I'll run you through the terms. 200K offer price, 20K down. It rents out for 2,000 total monthly, and I think the monthly payments are. It's amortized for 25 years. I know that.
Okay. And then what does it pay? What do you have to pay monthly?
Let me check it out.
Hopefully it's like
$950.
$950. Okay. So that leaves you $1,050 for everything else. So it's going to cash flow. Yeah.
And there's no balloon. No balloon.
Well, yeah, because this is a sub 2, right?
No, it's seller finance.
Oh, it is seller finance. Great. Good.
Yeah.
But where does that 4% come in? They want 4%?
Yeah, they want the 4%.
And is the 200 that you're offering, is that their asking price?
Yeah.
It's not over their asking price.
No.
And how
put in
no balloons, so that's good too.
Yeah, it's for 25 years. On the calculator, cash flows over $500, and the cash on cash like a little above 21%.
21, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Good. No, that's a solid. That's a sellable deal for sure.
Yeah, I was just kind
How
of.
many days? What's your inspection period? Is it more than 10 business days?
I haven't talked to him yet about that
That's for
because
15 business
I'm not
days.
sure.
So it gives us a lot of time to try to sell it.
Okay. All right, sounds good. That's all I had. Thanks, Trent.
Great. Well done. No, well done. Okay, buddy. All right. Hey, Demo Man, you got anything going on?
Actually, yeah, I do.
What's going on?
Not much.
Was I ignoring you? I always assume you're just hanging out when you want to talk.
I'm making calls. No, I'm making calls. I actually got a time bomb that came back to me just now.
I love time bombs. You got a camera?
Can you look at this with
I want
yeah.
to see if you're watching Wheel of Fortune.
Let's see if I'm watching. No, I'm going to turn my channel because I don't want you to see what I'm watching.
Oh no! It's gonna be a cooking show, isn't it?
It is. That's so funny. It is.
Is it really?
Yeah, totally.
You're hilarious.
So this one, I'm gonna send you here. Hold on a second. I don't know if you can see me yet.
I can't.
You don't want to. Oh my God, there you go.
Oh, jeez.
I'm in my band cave. It's cold out.
I love how you put the news on. You're like, oh, I'm putting it on the news.
So this one, I've been working on this one. It's the perfect Section 8. I know you don't like Section 8, but I just got the 2005 report for new pricing, and it's pretty incredible. It actually it'll actually cash flow now, but I want to see what I should come in and offer.
Oh, I love that town, so that's good.
Yeah, it's a clean little house. So four bedroom houses on the 2025 are coming in at $2,140 for Section 8.
Okay.
So she's calling to ask if I want
to have success with this Section 8, so I don't hate it so much.
I'm not. This is just me and Diane. Me and Diane spent about 4 hours yesterday working on filters, and we got a couple. We found a couple really cool filters. So.
Oh, good. It's not coming up on. Oh, I know. Never mind. That's my bad.
I have a great loan. It's got a 6.82 interest rate.
Ooh.
But it's
under
the payment's cheap. I estimate the payment at $433 plus.
Yeah, 433.7.
Yeah, plus taxes and insurance is super cheap on this too. So.
Well, and they just took
115
in May. That's weird.
Exactly. I'm thinking about going and lowballing them hard on it.
Please do. Nobody lowballs enough. We got to lowball.
Hey, you know me, but it's 125 days.
I would much rather somebody say no to my lowball than go for a month trying to sell it. You know what I mean?
Well, my loan officer is not very nice, so I'm going to come in low because that's all I can get on a DSCR.
Your loan officer, excellent. The roof looks new, yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's super.
Oh, it's a nice fix and flip for sure.
Yeah. And did you notice at the bottom of the pictures?
What are you thinking of? And it's a big yard. So here's what I love.
It's got it's got an ADU in the back. Did you see that?
Yeah. Well, is that an EDU or is it a shed?
Yeah, it's an ADU.
The one that's connected to the house?
Yeah, it's like a livable little ADU, she said.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm. But it's super clean. I'm going in at like 115. I'm gonna go in at 115 to start.
It looks like that's not an EDU. That's just a shed. I don't think that's an EDU. The one that's connected to the house? Do you see how there's like that addition that's connected to the house?
Yeah.
If they're talking that, because otherwise, oh wait. No, that little thing in the back is just like a tool shed. The red one, the one with the red around it, the door?
No. The one that's right behind the house. No, that's just a little tool shed.
No, do you see how it's connected to the house via the roof?
It's got an eave. Yeah, it's got an eave over it.
Okay.
Anyways, regardless, I mean, it's still a cool little unit. It's been redone.
Yeah, no, it looks nice. I'm just trying to see. There's no pictures of it being an EDU, yeah, or is it just a room?
No, and then you'll see that if he gets full asking price, but I wanted a quick question on this one. Me and Diane were talking about it. Full asking
Okay.
price, he said he put in the appliances,
Okay.
which not a big deal to me. Section 8, if we put the appliances in, then we're responsible for them. The owner of the property is. I looked it up.
Okay. Well, there's certain appliances you do provide.
I was wondering about that too.
Yeah, like a stove. Refrigerators
Right.
aren't necessarily, and definitely laundry isn't necessarily expected. But it makes it way more rentable.
Exactly.
So that's the reason we do it. Okay. How low you gonna go?
I'm gonna start him at 115.
Seems high.
If we section 8 it, it's gonna cash flow pretty good, even at.
I know, but that still seems high to me. Why are you going so much high? I would go
115.
Yeah, I would go lower. I mean, just based on what they owe, that's kind of, I like starting around what they owe because they got a loan for 66. I don't know why. And so I would go down below sub 100 and go 90. Because it can always come up, Let's be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I get it. I just wanted to get your opinion on it.
No, it's nice. I think it's cool. I think you're in a good spot. I just really would. I'm just, because are you taking over the loan?
It'll be a cash.
Okay, cash. Okay.
Yeah, I would just go into cash.
Then they're like it's funny. Numbers are funny. So they have 66 that they owe on it.
Yeah.
So I would almost do. So loud. That was the loudest
79.
thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I would go where it makes it so they walk with exactly $40,000. So I would say.
So then we ran it at 60, 65. So what, 35?
Yeah. So like add 35. So I would go. Yeah, I think you're right at 100. Like that would be their equity. I like even number the even numbers. For some reason people pick up on it, and you're like, well, you owe 60, 65. So I can come in at 100, and then you can walk with 35. It's just easy numbers for them to realize, like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool.
Would you even start at 100, or would you start at 95?
I start low. You know me. I mean, I'm going to.
That's me. That's what I know. I feel the same way.
You can always move up. That's the beauty. So at 90, you guys, you can say you could walk with $25 or 25,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
85, 90. Yeah.
All right.
Again, it's so much easier to get a no for a low price than it is to try to sell a high price property.
Well, she's bugged me a couple days this weekend, and I've kind of just blown it off. Like, I'm not interested.
That's great.
I mean? And she just hammered me with a voicemail this morning that she
awesome.
Definitely, and she's got a ton of properties.
Good.
She does. This is her forte is these kind of properties. So
and finding being a solution for her is everything.
Yeah, and she's got a county. She's the one that alerted me with this county, Mississippi, that me and Diane did a deep dive on that county, and it's got really high Section 8.
Oh, good
pricing, really high. So the houses are a little bit more. They're in the same price range, 140, 150, but they're all 2,200, 150 rented out, 4-bedroom, 1 bath. So,
what are comps in the area?
I had that up. Kind of if you look at the street view, you can look at the area too. It's kind of a nice little neighborhood. They're all about the same kind of houses.
Let me look at that my favorite map.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to go down to. That gives me kind of an idea.
It's a super quick way to just be like, oh, okay, we're in the right.
It's that 70 to 100,000, 70 to 110.
Yeah, I would stay down. Stay in the
Yeah.
80s. Like look at, I mean, you've got, look at all those you've got 88, 74, 89.
Yep.
They know about those. So yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, let's say, hey, I really appreciate how much you love your house, but I'm seeing in the area everything's going for about 75,000.
Exactly how I was going to approach it. Like
So
that's exactly to achieve.
Come in at 80, at least give you $5,000 more, and then you guys are walking with 15 grand after you pay off your loan. But also, I mean, is there a realtor? There is a realtor, right?
Yeah, she's a sweetheart too. She's really cool. We get along really well.
So she gets 4,800 of that if she's getting 6%. So they have to pay her 4,800 too.
Right.
So
I think I'll top out at 90, but I'm going to start off with about probably 80.
Yeah, and just blame it on the neighborhood. Like I'm looking at all the comps in the area because she hasn't looked at the comps, and just be like, that's what it is, and she'll be like, okay, cool.
No,
especially if she's hammering it. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I got 4 multis that I'm looking at, and I've talked to them. 3 of the multi units are the same realtor, and they've been sitting on the market for quite a while, and they're mega cash flowing.
Okay. Well, this week we're going to get one. We're going to get a contract this week, and we're going to start selling your stuff. Okay.
Yep. That's one of my goals. So I think I can get into these seller finance. The guys, he's been hit with it before, and I dealt with that. But I said we do it a little different. We put everything in a trust to protect you guys. That's what nobody's hit him with is the trust. He's like, oh, yeah. How does that work?
Perfect. And pique their interest. That's huge.
Exactly. Well, I want him to be protected. That's the reason we're doing this. We're protecting everybody around us. That's the way our attorney set it up.
Yep.
So I told him, and he's like, "That's cool. Okay, cool." So he was busy this weekend. I'll talk to him today and touch base. He was gonna, but he's got a bunch of them.
Great. No, that's the thing. You're so good on the phones now. Holy crap!
Yeah,
what a difference,
it helps
right?
out, man. Making these calls,
it's everything.
Man, it is. It's everything.
I'm
you guys,
for you. You're doing great.
I know Trent says hammer down the calls. It works. I'll be the first to tell you it works. So
you're the best. Awesome, Jason. Thanks.
Have you tried that steak yet?
Oh yeah, I cheated though. I put it in an oven, so I can't wait to get it on the grill.
Still, is it good?
So delicious, unbelievable. Like
it's killer. Huh?
So tender. I'm going to cube it up today, I think, and do a stir fry just to see how it works.
Yeah, cool.
I love to see how versatile it is. It's really good.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, buddy.
All right, well,
thanks.
I'm gonna go on off camera and make a few phone calls.
Okay, go kill it. And I think I'm out of here at 10. Somebody else is coming in. Okay, Sean.
How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Just trying to get a deal, trying to get my first deal. And it's been so many no's. It's been so many no's. So it's like, all right, this is maybe my 6th deal, but it just didn't work because of negotiation price. Because I'm trying to do more of a cash buy.
Okay.
But so it's not really working out too much. But it's a new one that I was looking into while I was at work. They have it. I think it's an off market because it's on Facebook Market kind of thing.
Okay.
So they want $280 for the property, and it has a light rehab on it, and the ARV within the area is in between from like 259, maybe 380. It's a few of them that I have with the comps.
Okay.
All within the area, and for the rent normally for that in that area is in between from 1,700 to like 21.
Okay. Have you talked to the realtor?
I spoke to them through text because they didn't answer the phone. So they just basically wanted me to send an offer to them because they have multiple offers, but no one did a contract yet.
Okay.
So I just went through Buy Box and I put in all the information and everything, and it's $280, but they have a buyer that's willing to buy it for 234 compared to 280,
Okay.
based on the rehab and the RV
Okay.
and all that stuff. So
It doesn't need any rehab at all.
no, it's very light. Like it's very light. Yeah, like the roof was just done within maybe 2012. Even though it's been a while, but so far they did some maintenance to it, and also the AC unit's been updated. All that stuff's been done. It's just no one's in there. It's just vacant.
Okay. Good. Well, I mean, the beauty is, the 234 is where they're at right now, right?
Yes.
So, what's your offer?
But I was gonna try to make sure it's decent enough, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it as like a seller finance
Do they have?
or a cash deal.
They own it outright?
I believe so, because it's an off market. I believe so. So I'm not really sure how they did it. I didn't ask any more questions because they didn't
Yeah.
really get into anything. They just say, hey, just send us the offer, because we have multiple people sending offers and
Do you
stuff
have
like that. So I
property?
just actually I don't. I'm all based
Okay.
on.
So we're not sure if they have a mortgage or not.
Yeah, so I can ask them to see.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
for the most part, it's all based on whenever they answer back, kind of thing. So
Okay. But don't make this the only one you're talking to. Like, do a bunch so they're all in the pipeline. You know what I mean?
oh no, I have a realtor in Georgia for this
Uh-huh.
other property. The
Good.
guy had it set for 250, but something happened with that contract. No, actually, it was worth, I think, he had it on Zillow for like 135. They put it on the contract already, so I was like, okay, I'll leave it alone. But then they put it back on the market, and it's been on there for like almost 465 days.
Oh,
So now
geez.
it's like, yeah, so now it's like 125. So I'm reaching out to her as much as I can, not to bother her, but just to kind of keep a bug in her ear, like, hey,
Yeah,
I'm willing to
bother
make an
her.
offer.
Well, in something like that, what kind of rehab does it need?
It's very light rehab. It's very light rehab. The rent
Okay.
for that one is like 1396, and the comps within the area is within like 380, maybe 259, stuff like that. But he's selling it because they're moving to Texas, so they're trying to get rid of it, kind of thing.
Yeah, sure.
But he hasn't returned any of our calls or messages at this point, and Will's like, just keep trying, because I'm doing my part. So I'm just trying to see
Yeah.
what she could do. Because I
Okay.
was going to offer him a cash buy of 90 and
I
get it
like
out of the
that.
way.
Yeah. Keep it low. That's good.
Yeah, because so far I had a couple deals that was cash, but it didn't work because I need to renegotiate more, and they didn't want to budge, so they just canceled the contract. I was like, okay, we hit those bumps.
You never know. You never know when that's gonna work in your favor too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Good.
so
All right.
yeah, but I had like 6 deals. One of them is it's another one. She wants 170. I think it's 199, but she said the lowest she would go is 175. So I
Okay.
said, what about 174? So she was like, that's a possibility, but she was like, this is no assignable. That she said the seller doesn't want an assignable contract or something like that. She just wanted to be all
Yeah.
cash, and I was like, what did that mean? But basically, it's like how Richard and everyone's doing. Hey, we get the property and we sell it to somebody else or whatever. But I'm like, it shouldn't that not be your problem if you just trying to sell the place and you getting the money, right?
Yeah. That's all she cares about.
So I'm still working on that. I just
Well,
wanted to approach it the right way.
yeah, when you start getting these under contract, feel free to put them into to the form. It'll be in the chat, and then if they're under contract and they're good deals, we'll help you get it taken care of.
Okay, yeah, because
I like the
I
fact that
definitely
you're
need.
going low, though. You're going low, and that's huge.
Yeah, I try to be as reasonable for me as possible, because of course the
No,
assignment
yeah,
fee
you
is
wanna
in
be,
there, the
yeah,
taxes, and the with the realtor with the deal for 125, she's getting 9,000, almost 10 grand for hers, because I think it's like 5% based on it. So that's another thing I was trying to keep in consideration. So I was like, everything needs to work so the whole deal can work.
Yeah, no, you're doing great. You're doing really, really well. That's awesome. Okay, so get them under contract and let's start. Let's sell them. And guys, remember, it's way easier to get a no from somebody that you're going too low than it is to sell a crappy deal. So let's just try to get some great deals. All right,
Okay.
Sean. Thanks.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. No problem.
Okay, later. G Money.
Hey Trent, how you doing?
Good. How you doing? What's going on?
Hey, not much, not much. Hey, listen, so I'm gonna send you an address here in your DM.
Okay.
And I talked to the realtor, and he was kind of excited about the offer. I just want to know if I did it right. I offered him 145 on it. I put it through buy box. The ARV that came up was 259.
How much work does it need? Well, I'll see in a second.
It doesn't seem like it needs much. It doesn't seem like it needs much. But I put it in as 20 grand,
Good.
just in case.
Yeah.
Or 15 or 20. I don't remember now.
That's good. I always.
All right.
Because again,
And then,
that's another where you guys get that's where your summit fee money can come from too. Is when we say it's going to cost more to fix it up. Yeah, this is move-in ready, but yes, let's say that 20 or 15 is up.
Yeah, and then the seller is asking for 159.9. Buy box is offering 178, and
Okay, so
I offered. Go ahead.
You want to try to do seller financing?
No, I was going to do cash.
Okay, so buy box shouldn't offer more than what it is.
Did I do something wrong then?
You did something wrong. So
Let me see.
mad at you. Can't believe you did something wrong. No, and again, sometimes buy box messes up too. So I'll give you. Hold on, prop streams being so it's like okay, so
they don't they're free and clear. They don't owe anything. But on the last sale,
except for an estimated loan balance of $609,000. Is this the wrong? I must have the wrong one. Hang on. What did I put in wrong here? Are we at 5215? Is that correct?
Yeah, 5215 Lexington Ave.
Anything else? Okay, so they've got a loan. What the heck? None of this makes sense though, because their loan amount is that they it's a $609,000 loan, but the what the heck's going on? Okay, prop stream is messed up. This doesn't make any sense at all.
See, on mine, it appears as no estimated balance, but the last sale, it says on public record, it says 8 million.
Right. So if you go down to the right under prop stream intelligence, it says mortgage and transaction history.
Okay.
Do you see that? So that's where you find your mortgage info. Don't trust that thing at the top.
Okay.
So click on that. But first of all, it makes no sense that it's $600,000. So that's I always move a decimal point because I think something got screwed up. But yeah, there's no way they own that. That's not a $600,000 property. So when you talk to the realtor, you need to talk to them about that. And what were you going to offer as a cash?
145.
145?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not a deal.
No.
Because anybody putting their property online puts it for $20,000 more than they think they can get right off the bat. Okay. That's just if you've ever sold a house, the first thing you do is like, oh, what's going on in the neighborhood? Oh, people are getting 200,000. Okay, let's put it up for 230 and see what happens. Everybody does that. So it's already inflated. And so you're just coming down just almost to retail price. They've been on for 123 days at that price. So obviously that's not the price because nobody bought it.
It seems like they dropped to 10K.
On the 23rd.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so they don't. It's not worth what they're saying. So also go down in Zillow, go to that second map, roll all the way down, and there's another map, and just see what places in the neighborhood are selling for. It's kind of a quick way to look at it. Do you see that map I'm talking about on Zillow?
Yeah.
So if you roll down, and then if you expand it and then click, there's a thing that says street, satellite, and lot lines. So click on lot lines, and yours will be. I don't see it
Right
for
there.
some reason. I don't see it, but
It pops us as 159.
oh, okay, there. Oh yeah, with a little picture.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you can do is use the neighbors 2 doors down, 3, 4, 5 doors down. That's 128, 135, and the other direction there's a 115. So you want to start using those numbers as kind of
Okay.
your anchor numbers to talk to the realtor. Like, hey, I'm seeing stuff in the neighborhood for 115 and one. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So we want to poo-poo the neighborhood the best we can. Across the street, it's the same thing. There's an 86, 86, 82. I don't know what those
That's
are. Right.
across the street. Yeah, I see them.
Yeah, but those are saying they're either 148, 115 across the street. So you're pretty sure they don't have a mortgage though, right?
Well, I was going off a prop stream, but that, like what you mentioned, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well,
Like
none
on the
So PropStream's wrong. We got to just kind of roundabout try to find out, because everybody gets upset when you ask if there's a mortgage on the house.
So he said any type of information just to email him. I was gonna ask him because he got something going on with his liver, and he has an appointment tomorrow. But he said tomorrow at around 3 he'll get back to me. He said just any type of questions, email him. So I was building the email right now,
Okay.
and so these are the questions that I have for him. I wanted to know how the water heater, the roof, and the HVAC. He mentioned that the roof was fixed within the last 5 years.
Okay.
But the other information he didn't have on hand, he just had it back in the office, so he was going to get back to me with that. So the water heater, the roof, the HVAC system, I was going to ask for the seller disclosure if there was any, and then if it was currently occupied and what were the terms for it. But I guess now I need to add if there's any type of mortgage or loan on the property.
The reason you're asking that is to you can just say, hey, I just want to see if there's a possibility of taking over the loan, if there is one, and you can just leave it at that. Because when you say, hey, is there a mortgage, they're like, oh yeah, I'm not telling you that, that's private information. But if you say, hey, I've got a strategy of taking over the loan, is that even a possibility in this situation? It's kind of a roundabout way asking the same question.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
All right. So I'll send them an email, and then
when it rents for $17.56, it says. So that's pretty good rent for that size house.
Right. I did see that.
Yeah, you're in a good situation here. And the sale is as is. They made that really clear.
Yeah.
On the listing, use that against them. Like, hey, so you're saying it's as is, so I'm assuming there's stuff wrong with it that I'm not seeing. So I'm going to plan for $20,000 in rehab.
Apparently, the seller has never seen the house itself.
Okay. That's not
right. So I don't know how to go about that.
Yeah, well, it'll be part of the inspection, but it's just a way of talking them into understanding why you're lowballing them.
Okay, so what should be a good cash offer in case they don't have a mortgage or a loan?
That's when I go to them and say, hey, what would it take monthly for this guy to be incentivized to take a set of payments? Because we can work out the numbers where I'll pay him monthly, because the water heater definitely needs to be, the water heater is not to code right now because it's just sitting on the ground.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of pipes and everything hammered. But yeah, I would just say, to incentivize them to take a set of payments We'd love to know what we could pay him monthly that would make him excited about letting this go. And essentially, he would still be kind of a landlord receiving a monthly check, but he doesn't have any of the responsibilities or the hassle. And so we'd love to get him, most of or a portion of the rents that we get to incentivize them to take a set of payments.
Okay. I'll try to work on that. And that would be sub 2, right?
No, seller finance, because we don't know if it's mortgage, right?
Okay.
The mortgage is subject to, and the reason it's called sub 2 is because it's subject to the existing mortgage. That's how you can remember the difference between the two. And then seller financing means the seller owns it, and he's gonna be the bank, and so he has to own it to be the bank, because otherwise he wouldn't have any interest in it. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Because if he has a mortgage on it, the bank owns it. In this situation, like if it's seller financing, so you got to find out which one it is, because we're not sure if it's unclear if they have a mortgage or not.
Okay, I'll find that out, and then if I have any more questions, can I bother you on a DM?
Yeah, of course, no problem.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sean. I appreciate your time, man.
All righty, guys. It looks like I'm done for the day because it's 10:15, and I've got my wife telling me that the car is dead in the water, and so I got to get AAA out there. I appreciate you guys coming every morning. I'm here 8 to 10 every morning. Feel free to DM me with questions. I try to at night sit down and look at the DMs and try to answer everybody the best I can. But it's always best to come here and try to get on stage, and we can chat. But thanks for being here. I am out of here. Have a great day.